We are here in Arizona, one of my go-to stores when I'm here visiting from New Jersey, Grand Ave Records. My man Cocoe, who has always shown love ever since I walked into this store back in 2021. And also ran into my man down Devine Sounds, digging over there. Cocoe, just wanted to catch up with you really quick about your store. Since 2021, I've seen Instagram posts, I've seen growth. I've also seen a lot of events happening here in Arizona. Tell me how you're doing with the store, how you're doing with everything.
Yeah, everything's cool, man. It's labor of love. It's good days, bad days. Just keep moving,
Yeah.
Just so the slow days don't catch up with the busy days.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting economy, just
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
People aren't spending money, everything's gone through the roof, gas, groceries, whatever. So
Yeah.
I take a hit on that because, I'm that type of business. It's not like I'm a food business,
Yeah.
or,
Yeah,
grocery
this is
store that people need to survive.
Yeah, this is leisure.
It's leisure. Yeah, it's like going and getting your nails done.
Exactly.
You go do that when you want to feel good or whatever. You treat yourself.
Yeah.
I think records are kind of the same way, at least to the people that I'm catering to.
Yep.
Because most of my customers are DJs, artists, and when they have a little bit to spend, they'll come in here and buy a record.
Sure.
If they're gigging, then they'll get a portion of the gig money and come and buy some new tunes or some new old tunes.
But that affects this whole industry, right? Because
it totally does. It totally does. But I mean, listen, we can't get it twisted. There's stores that are just super busy here in town, but they're not a specialty store like I am.
Right. You're DJ
kind of,
oriented.
I focus mostly on 12 inches,
Yep.
disco, funk, soul, R&B, house,
Yeah.
techno. Whereas the other stores kind of hit,
Yeah.
the pop, the indie.
Sure.
They're selling albums.
Sure.
And that's just not what I do. I stick to what I know, and I've never been one to fake the funk. I've worked in record stores for 4 decades.
So since 2021 to now, though, have you seen a surplus of interested wannabe DJs, collectors? Like who's coming by here that's kind of helping you stay alive with your business? Or is it online? Like how are you doing it?
I don't do a lot of business online.
Okay.
My online presence is mostly like my SoundCloud, my website, where it's kind of like a hub to like know what's happening. I put a lot of live recordings up.
So no Discogs.
Streams. I have my Discogs, but like it's a different stock.
Oh, okay.
My
Than what
Discogs
you have
than
here.
what I have in the store. Yeah. So I keep it tight in here.
Yeah.
Just so it's like curated and it's people can kind of go through the store 20-30 minutes. They can go through the whole store. It's not like it's and then sometimes I have some boxes people can go through. Last night I had a friend here. He went through some boxes that I had from a collection specific to what he's into.
Exactly.
Which was cool. I do that to like homies.
Like me, I'll be digging through your stuff later.
Yeah, exactly. So I have no problem doing that. But yeah, it's also seasonal here in Phoenix. Summer comes, things really slow down.
Okay.
Especially in this neighborhood. This is the historic arts district. And then, as soon as college is gone, we're out. We lose a high level of population for like 2.5 months or whatever.
Right.
But then, and I'll get to answering your question. When school gets back in, then we have a whole new group of people that can find interest or maybe tap into the music end of things. I'm really tapped in with pop music at ASU.
Okay.
One of my Samuelitos who plays percussion and DJs with me, part of Loose Joints. He's a professor there, and he's kind of one of the people that is really involved
You did something recently there, correct?
I've done a bunch of stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done some lectures. I've did some 90-minute flips. I've DJ'd some events. I just because Samuel is like super involved. He'll call me for certain things that make sense that I can really dial in.
Okay.
We used this record shop space to do some showcases outside of the school, which is it's a perfect space for it. It's very intimate. Obviously, I don't have alcohol or anything. Which we stick to the music, which is my number one thing. If I could, have it my way, it would be the David Mancuso theory, right?
Yeah.
Like just like the dancers are the headliners, and I like to focus on that. And same with my customers. Like, I'm no different than anybody that walks in here. I just sometimes am a teacher, and I, will turn them on to stuff. And sometimes I'm a student, and they turn me on to stuff. Modern, past, present, and future. I mean, Don's a good example. We talk about music all the time. And there's stuff that he knows about that I don't know about, and vice versa. So that's the beauty of the record shop. And anywhere that I travel, dude, it's the same thing. And I avoid record stores that don't have that energy. Because I can't align with it. Because if I walk into a record store and there's no hospitality, and it's I'm not gonna function the way that I want to, and nor will I want to be there.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I can walk into a record store and it's awesome, and people are nice, and it might just be a rock store, and it's not really a genre I tend to like go and like dig for, but I'm gonna spend some time simply for the fact that I made a connection there with someone that's like outside of my lane, but they're cool. And that's the thing with like these stores are few and far between. A lot of people are opening up record shops, and it's a really hard business. It's different when you open a place for the people as opposed to like
for a business.
I want to make a business.
Exactly.
Which for me, I'm just lucky. I get to have a sanctuary and pay my bills. But then I get to have this space where people meet. They network. I do beat production workshops, and I do like open auxes, which is kind of like an open mic, but for people that make beats. I have all the DJ stuff, which it's different levels. I have.
And you also do repairs?
I do a lot of repairs. I'm gonna sneeze.
Okay.
Oh. All right. Too much pressure. But yeah, I do turntable repairs. I repair some other stuff too, like some receivers here and there. It's not too complicated. Not that I couldn't do the complicated stuff. I just don't like to spend
a lot of time.
4 weeks on a project. I'd rather just like.
Because the value also, right? That you might.
It's too much, dude.
Exactly.
And there's other people in town that are really good at doing that, and and they can take that business. But for me, I specialize in 1200s. It's pioneers, and I work with outfitted stuff too. I mean, people bring me broken headphone jacks or microphones, or the XLR cable isn't plugging in properly in the back. I'll do all those repairs.
Awesome.
I studied all that stuff. So it makes sense for me because now I'm really catering to DJs and DJ culture. And sometimes I just need to make some extra money, and I'll be like, I'll fix your controller. It's not like I don't know how to do it. I read a schematic, figure out what needs to be done. If it's something too crazy and not worth it, I do honest work. I'm not going to try to take, $300-400 from someone and then they could just go buy a new unit for that same price. Just go get a new unit. Sell this thing for parts. You'll save money.
And Don, I mean, we come from the old days of you got to learn how to wire stuff, right? You got to learn how to solder on the spot. Something breaks down, you got to do it right there and then. That was all part of setting up the systems, knowing what you have, how they worked, and everything else like that, right?
True.
So I love that energy that you bring. Okay, say that's one of the things why I wanted to come back and I reach out to you doing Instagram is the energy that you provide here. And you're right, a lot of people are opening up record stores because they might walk in and see a few people in there and they're like, I can do this. And a lot of the owners that I've actually spoken to all around where I go digging, most of them have just told me straight out, I had extra bucks, it seemed like a fun thing to do, so I opened up a store. But my question is, well, what's your intention behind that store? Like, what are you providing, right? Because I think all the old heads that come from collecting music back from the 80s, the record store was our center for community. To find out where the events were, to see who might walk in, during that time for us was Larry Levan, the Paradise Garage if we shot at Vinyl Mania, other local DJs if we went to dance tracks and all the local stops that we did once we hit New York. Even moving records, right? If you were there and you wanted to see an up and coming artist, that's where you were to hang out and possibly get a glimpse, right? And also see what everybody else was buying. And I think a lot of the people that are opening stores don't come from that tradition and can't provide or figure out what it is that really means to be that center hub for your community, right? It's a space where people may just want to hang out. And I think that's the one thing that we get, like at Cosmic Arts, for instance, Joe Purcell's store, is you can hang out as long as you want, you can listen to music, preview his new stuff, but you get that sense of family and coming together.
Yeah.
But it is a hard business, Cocoe, right?
It's a really hard business, man.
Yeah.
It's a really hard business, and
Is it getting more difficult to find inventory now as opposed to how it was back years?
Not really.
Or that's always
See,
there?
for me, I'm like established. So like yesterday, I got 3 crates of records from Kevin Brown, which is like he's very established.
Okay.
House guy, techno guy, goth guy, synth guy, and he just has an insane record collection. But like he's cleaning house too. He's got triples and doubles, and and he brought me a stack of stuff yesterday where I was like, everything was in there.
Yeah, I think
we just did a trade. He's looking for specific stuff, and it's not that hard. And new stuff. Here's where I'm challenged with the new stuff. For one, it's budgets.
Yep.
I don't have them.
Yep.
I'm working with like $200, $300 at a time.
Yep.
Getting stuff from like Kyle Say, Tally, Ocean Day.
Yep.
I just kind of go individual, and then I have labels that I order from. When little money comes in, then I'll order something from the label.
Yep.
No money comes in, I'm going to my record collections that I have accumulated.
Right.
Summertime, can't really order.
Yep.
Rolling the dice. I got one order coming right now.
Yep.
I'm praying that it's going to show up and it's not going to be damaged.
Because of the heat.
Yeah, I've already had to send one box back, and it's not even really the heat. I don't know what's going on. Stuff is sitting in the truck.
Oh. Okay.
Who knows?
Right.
But it's kind of, you got to roll the dice.
Right.
But
so it's not like you're
this
working.
This is my tail end of me ordering a couple small things.
Gotcha.
And then I'm just done for the summer because like it's too risky.
Right.
And it's it's a shame to just have damaged records, and then what? Then you got to send them back, and then the label takes a hit, the artist takes a hit.
Sure.
It's better to just like, it's hard when I see like amazing stuff being released, and I'm like, can't order that.
But you've been getting some good stuff.
I get good stuff. Yeah, I get good stuff to my taste. I'm not, I could. No, I know I'm missing. I know I'm missing a lot of stuff, but I get stuff to my taste.
Yeah, I've seen
sometimes I'll get some
Brazilian
jazz
stuff.
Yeah, sometimes I get some jazz. Sometimes I get some Brazilian stuff. Some, but I really focus on dance, dude. Yeah, that's my thing. I like the dance 12s, and I don't have a lot of customers, but I have true customers that come in here on a weekly basis. Yeah, they'll spend $100.
Yep.
And that adds up, and then I get more, and then my Discogs, we were talking about Discogs, like I use that to kind of blow stuff out.
Yeah.
So I'll put some rare stuff up there, but not really. Mm-hmm. I like to bring that stuff in here.
Right.
And then it's cool, it could sit on the wall, it could age well. and then I'll just blow away like $3 records on Discogs, trance, just shit that's like not gonna
sitting
move,
there, yeah,
or just not even hitting the floor. Like
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna just put a trance collection in here,
right.
If I get like a collection and it's got like 20% really good house, and then there's like some progressive stuff, and so I dump all that stuff on Discogs, and it goes quick because people are buying 10, 15 records at a time for $3. I'm not married to any of that stuff. I'll sell it all day, at a low price.
Sure.
But now we start talking New York labels and stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm not putting that stuff online. People come here and discover that. That's who I am. So I wanna have those records in here.
Gotcha.
Same with like techno. Techno is I'm getting a lot of classic stuff. I don't have a huge section, but there's good stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's stuff that's from DJs that have been collecting the whole time since that genre was created. So I'm buying collections from those guys. Hip hop was once my strong point in here, but it's just hard for me to find good hip hop stuff, and I don't really care for a lot of the new stuff that's out there unless it's like a break record or like a cut up record or something that's like a flip, which I like, and I get in here and it does well. But the investment has to move around, and I know what sells quick, what I can turn over quick, and I know what takes time. But also, I'm selling records. People walk in here, I already know what they like. If I don't, then I just let them go through the store, and then we have a conversation. But my customers, dude, they walk in, boom, 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 here's this, and this. I think you'll like this, and that's part of it. You gotta like know your customer. If you want to sell records, you have to like present them. You can't just be like, oh, that might be good, because I guarantee it. Most of the people that walk in here have no idea what's on the wall.
Absolutely.
But I can pull and play, a couple bars, and they'll be like, yeah, that's cool. And then I have, notable stuff. There's some Fleetwood Mac to Donald Byrd, but then there's also like, some techno joints, some UK stuff, disco, obviously, Gibson Brothers to, Gil Scott-Heron,
But I mean, I love that about
heavy hitters.
You're very eclectic, musically, so you're able to give that information to people. And I think that, like we were talking earlier, the store owners nowadays are just there for a business. So it's kind of sad, like you talked about energy, unless you know what you're looking for, right? I know where to go, but friends of ours always talk about the old days where you had people behind the counter at Vinyl Mania.
Main Records.
They were like, hey, and then you develop that relationship that next time I come in, you have a stack ready for me. And that to us felt very personal, and it was like, wow, this guy is pulling stuff out for me. And that's value. That's something that you build, and you have that trust with your clientele to come in. And I love that about you, because you are able to provide a little bit of, hey, I see you check this out. You're not afraid to say, you may like this as well. And that's awesome, because I think unless you know and unless you've grown from those roots, nowadays it's almost like, well, I like it, but I wouldn't know where to go. So for you to provide that, I think that's an essence of that whole community coming together at places like this. And I've also seen some outdoor events, some house events taking place here.
There's a couple things happening. There's a couple things happening. There's the Musical Pleasures thing, which De La and Don do. It's just once a year. Then there's like the Big Ken, those guys, they were doing like House Fest.
How is that taking?
They're cool. I played at a couple of them. They're fun. They're just they're a day in the park for us grown folk.
Are people gravitating to the music though, you think, or they're just
for
there?
Sure. For sure, because everyone that's playing these events is like very experienced music collectors. It's not like
your average.
Beginners. No, it's not beginners. No. Good. And that's the thing too. It's a lot of work, and it's not necessarily a payout. The assignment is to get people together. And to share music and to just have fun. Now, it's not going on every week. And there's other events that go on every week, and it's different levels of DJs and stuff. For me, I'm at a very high level.
Yeah.
I'm not critiquing other DJs because I know that they have to start somewhere to work on their craft.
Right.
For me, I'm at a very high level. I've been doing it for 40 years now.
Yep.
Been throwing parties simultaneously, working at record shops. I've very well traveled.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my heroes are also people that have been doing it for 40, 50 years.
Sure.
You know, Danny Krivit, fucking
Sure.
Joe Cosell,
Sure.
fucking Tony Humphries. You know, just all people that are like, they never changed.
Absolutely.
The music changed a little bit, but the way that they present music has never changed.
Absolutely.
And I think they're all students of like people like David Mancuso, people like Larry Levan, and who I highly respect. And the reason why I respect them is because they respect the dance floor. Where, you know, like DJing is kind of out of control right now. You know, obviously everyone wants to be on a stage and all that shit.
Yeah.
I don't really care for a stage.
Yeah.
Like, I like to look at people eye to eye. Same way that this DJ booth is set up is my favorite way to DJ, because, you know,
You have
the
that
energy
connection.
exchange is at eye level. However you want to look at it, dancers, standard buys, you know, whatever. When you're at the same level, it's different. But when you try to go up on the podium in a high horse, then you kind of separate yourself from
The dance floor.
the
That
community.
energy. Yeah.
It's a community.
Yeah.
You know, so now you're like this person, which is cool. But, you know, I mean, obviously if you're playing a big festival, you're not going to be at eye level. People can't see you. But that's why I like the intimate stuff. When I do my parties, it's just as enjoyable with 25, 30 people than it is with, you know, 1,000 people. You know, when I do the dance ciphers in here,
that's interesting. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so like I do that with Tomahawk Bang, which is one of my friends. He's been doing his thing for a long time dancer, producer. You know, he's a bunch of stuff on At Jazz, Ghostly, a lot of stuff. And then Latasha Barnes, who's
Latasha's
like we're renowned.
Absolutely.
We're renowned.
Absolutely.
So it's us three that do it, and then, you know, obviously she's traveling constantly. Right. So when she can be here and it lines up, we do a little dance cipher, and it's a lot of other teachers and professors that teach dance, and then obviously students, people that are in it at a high level, and we just do a dance cipher, and it's total comfort zone. We come in here, and, you know, the dancers, they don't really drink, they don't stay out late. So it's a couple of hours, and it's all in, and then we're done.
Is it also for people to see different dance moves or understand how that music relates to the dancer for those outside, right? Because for me, we're doing something called Freeform in Brooklyn right now at Joe Cosell's store. We're highlighting jazz dance, right? More UK jazz dance and fusion. And I reached out to Natasha about it, and we kind of had an interesting conversation, because here when you come to the States, when you think jazz dance, you obviously think maybe, you know, swing, you know, think, you know, Lindy Hop, something to that extent. But the fusion that UK dancers really bring, it is a true fusion of loft dancing, ballet.
It's very lofty, dude.
Oh my God.
It's very lofty. And I follow all those guys too. And I follow them because it's very connected to like house dancing in the 90s.
Absolutely.
Right? And even hip hop, freestyle dancing. That was the early 90s.
Absolutely.
That was very similar to like the loft.
Now, I didn't have to tell you this. You see that, right? You can put, and that's my point. Like, you know, right now when we put on the flyer jazz dance and fusion, it automatically, I think, makes people afraid. Like, what is it? I don't know. And we have one or two dancers that are showing up to our event now. And once people see, the house dancers see that, okay, maybe it's just a little bit higher tempo, they get a little bit happy to enjoy. But other than that, people don't know the movement with it. So it's very important what you're doing here with seasoned dancers that are able to let loose.
And it's fun.
That energy that they give with the music, I mean, that's what we grew up with, right? Part of us going to clubs was to dance. Back then was about the dancing. We weren't looking to see who the DJ was. We were more at all because of the sound system, but we came in to dance.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that kind of has taken a back step for more of the I want to be idolized as a DJ, right? The whole camera, the whole show behind it, right? It's giving off such a different representation on how things are being done now. But I mean, you're hitting some excellent points, Cocoe, on this whole movement, man.
For me, you know, I think there's the cell phone thing, all that. It's fine. It's you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Don't,
absolutely.
When I go to a club, I put my shit away. I don't. It's for me. It's kind of similar to like being out with my daughter, and like I don't put my kid on social media. Like, those moments are just for me and her.
Absolutely.
I'll take some photos that live in my phone, but like I'm not putting anything on social media. Because that's another world, real world. Right? So the stuff that's in the real world, I prefer to have those as thoughts within my memory and hold them dearly, and they're more special that way because I only get to share, you know, going on this like glorious hike with my kid, or you know, playing a party and then it was just off the hook, and I was like, I'm not even bringing my phone in. I don't want to have that responsibility.
You want to stay in.
Oh, it's in my pocket, and like, oh, cool, let me like pull it out. For me, it's a distraction, and it's going to take away from me being a student. And an ongoer into this event. And for me, that's important. Like, dude, I go to fucking 718. I don't see a single phone in the crowd, dude. And it's all older people, and you know, people are like dancing hard, start to finish. And for me, when I go to that party, if I'm not the first 50th person in the door, I failed myself.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because like I want to see that
from
the development.
The first,
you know, the development. I mean, Don, we've had these conversations, and that's why I mess with you, dude. It's, you know, we're the same. Like I could be like, yo, I'll be there early.
Absolutely.
I like seeing the whole thing.
I like to see it develop. And for me, that's being a music lover. Because I don't want to miss out on maybe something that is going to be inspiring, and it all is. It all is. I mean, I even the younger people that maybe they're very inexperienced, but they have the passion. Right. That is very important to me because like that feeds my soul, dude. You know, I teach a lot of DJ classes here with vinyl. I have all these people that come to me. I can't even advertise it. Because it'll just be, I'll be too busy and then it won't be special. But like I do a couple sessions a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have beginners, I have people that have been doing it for a while. And you know, I do it one-on-one, and I teach fundamentals and etiquette and how to use your ears, not your eyes. And you know, a lot of my students are out doing stuff. They're out throwing their own parties, events. I got one student, you know, she's like a protege. She's throwing a festival. This is her second year, very successful. Becoming a really good DJ, but also looking to pay attention to the dancers. And not just make it about like the crate, like what records you have, but like how will it complement this type of room versus that type of room, which is my fundamental shit that I spent 4 decades to like hone in on. You know, it's important for me now, like, you know, I'm in my 50s, it's not a big deal, I've been doing it for a long time. More importantly now than ever is to pass down to the right people. And for the simple fact that I know that those people will pass down to the right people. And then create that, you know, little ecosystem of, you know, people that are going to last and help, you know, keep it afloat. I've seen it go up and down, but for some, you know, people are like walking here all the time. They're like, oh yeah, it's crazy, records are coming back and this and that. I'm like, dude, I've been touring with my records for 40 years.
Exactly.
You know, it's still there. And trust me, I go to Europe, I go all over the place. there's still the
the
illest DJs and selectors are playing wax.
Yeah.
And they're ill. They're telling stories, man.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, cool, let's jump on, Track Source or Beatport and see what the top 100, top 10s are, and then take from Louis, take from Ocean Lade, take from whoever's got these charts.
Yeah.
It's more so like going in the record store and being like,
what is
this record's kind of calling me.
Yeah.
What is this? I've never heard it before. And all of a sudden you put it down, you flip the B-side, and you're like, holy shit, look how magic works.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So those things are important, but again, it's like with my classes, the number one thing I teach is don't do it unless you want to have fun.
Interesting.
It's not an ego booster or supremacy of any kind. It's like, do it to have fun and understand that the assignment is you're a vessel of other people's music. Present it properly, right? Very important, because like you have to do these people justice. You playing these amazing records, you have to present them the right way.
That's beautifully said.
No, but you have to.
Beautifully said.
You have
Absolutely.
to. Yeah, you have to.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing is create a space that is not only safe but inviting.
Yep.
You know, and you can introduce, when you have that, you can introduce music that people wouldn't even think they would fall in love with.
Absolutely.
And they walk away with something new, and now they can go on and take chances.
Absolutely.
And whether it be like going to a club that they didn't think they would want to go listen to music at, or if they're a DJ that they can go and take some chances and play some other music. The other main thing that I really like emphasize on, especially with like people wanting to get into DJ culture, and for me it's like always make good habits, right? Because like I get a lot of DJs in here, they've been doing it for a while, they're like, maybe they didn't have mentors or they're watching YouTube or whatever, fake it till you make it type shit.
Yep.
Which is great, but like when you get into like DJ culture, it's very important. Like if you want to be really good at it, I always say you're only as good as you know the music. It's very important to know, like if you want to be a good DJ, flawless is okay. It's okay to be flawless. You could be like airtight, that's cool. I like the little looseness. I like to hear records air out. That shows me that this shit is organic and not a machine, right? And that's kind of fun. Like everyone, has a little slip up here and there, and that's cool. For me, that's not important. It's how you tell the story.
Yeah.
That's the most important.
Yeah.
And I work really hard to try and meet, like in the Cocoe universe, like I try to like be really strict about if I have my staple tunes that I play, those are me, right? That's like my sound, whether it's like a break that I take from like a Kenny Dope record that I always play and bring in, use it as a transition record to go from deep house to like Afro or whatever. Like I have those records, they're gonna stick around with me.
Sure.
But I really make it a point to play different stuff that I have, because like initially, like I go record shopping in my record collection every time I DJ. And I'm working on sets, dude. So I got some new shit, I got some classics.
Sure.
And then, then eventually it'll end up here where I refine, right? So it's kind of my process, right? Start down here, bring them up here, and then I'll move them over here, and then I'm creating these little sets. But that's my process. I don't teach that. I just give reference.
Sure.
And then
To each his own.
to each his own. Take what I'm showing you and make it better, always. But the main thing, listen to shit backwards and forwards. Especially when you're creating sets. If you're just listening to records, it doesn't matter. But if you want to create a moment, tell a story, you have to really know the music. And you don't necessarily have to be a super amazing mixer or blender. You just need to know how to put the records together, but really know the music. Because once you know the music, it'll naturally start happening. You'll be, a good day for me is I'll be like 5 records ahead of myself. on what I want to play, and I'll be like, dude, it's just happening in my head.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah, of
there,
course. Yeah.
but it's because I know my records,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And it's
Yeah.
just like bam, bam, bam. All right, cool. And that really opens it up for so many things, because when I'm preparing for a gig, it's not like, I mean, yeah, I prepared last minute for many gigs, but I don't do that. That's not for me. It's the process.
Of course.
My favorite part about DJing is organizing the music that I'm gonna play.
Sure.
And I don't necessarily have to sit there and mix every record.
Yeah.
I'll be like working on stuff. I'll play a tune. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's gonna go over good. I might play it. I might not play it.
Absolutely.
But it's a time and place.
Absolutely.
It's gonna go in the bag. You know.
Yeah.
And maybe the moment will arise where that's the right moment, and I'll get to play
Sure.
that. You know. Now I got records sitting in my crates right now that I've had in there for like the last 4 loose joints parties that are specifically put in there for loose joints. I want to create something
Sure.
in the right moment,
Yeah.
but that moment hasn't appeared, so they're still, cool.
Yeah.
File all the old ones. This
Sure.
one I didn't play,
Yeah.
and then maybe I'll play them at the next one
Yeah.
to create that moment. And then sometimes you build off of that one record
Absolutely.
that you don't even get to play.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
because of that one record, you created this story that you could tell backwards and forwards,
Sure.
right? So
Yeah.
that's in my studies of being a disc jockey. That's my approach.
Absolutely.
And-
You nailed great stuff.
Yeah.
I want to get back to your loose joints party, but you and I, when we would listen to Timmy or Merlin Bob, and we would hear that offbeat a little bit, we're almost like cheering them, like, get on it, like, ride it, right? Out of the excitement of, wow, that song with this, even though it's off, just the beauty of that instrumental coming with that vocal, and knowing that the guy's riding that pitch, and that's
And
the
recovering,
turn.
and the recovery of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's where the magic is.
Until it clocks on, and you're like, man, you know what? I'm now going to get 2 different songs and try to create my own magic that I just heard Timmy, Merlin, or Tony do this magical things, and that comes from inspiration. Like for me, I grew up to listening to KTU, listening to all the edits during the Battle of the DJs, that the Latin Rascals, Dynamic Duo. For them to have that vision of splicing, I mean, on a tape, to splice, link together that 1 second of a one song to go with now 2 other seconds and create this magic. That's what really opened my mind to be like, wow, there's so much to really put together besides just the one song to another. And I almost see that happening, like you said, robotically now, unfortunately, with what sync buttons, whatever's on social media, whatever the conversation is that organicness of understanding your own music, creating your own taste and style.
Right.
That now genuinely involves mixing stuff, because I hear you on your Twitch show, and I'm like, okay, wow, I used to play this instrumental, but I would mix this vocal. Oh wow, I never thought about mixing it with this, and look how good it sounds, right?
Yeah.
And that inspires you. So all of this inspiration that we grew up with, we all know, Larry was notorious for not being the best mixer,
Right.
but the song selection that he hit you over the head.
Yeah.
And the little things that you miss from not being early for the down tempo stuff, that itself has kind of like, gone away, because, you talk about festivals where you got 7, 8 DJs wanting to hit everybody hard during their time, that you lose that essence of that opening song, that jazz, that 98 BPM that just put everybody in the mood to begin, and you saw the peak. So that also taught you how to learn, how to teach, how to pull out of nice Latin jazz stuff to the house, right?
Yep.
And that evolvement is a lesson that you gotta learn from your experiences of hearing and seeing and putting songs together like that. And there is a magic, I think, that you kind of go through. Like, people ask me, well, how do you prepare for a song? I'm like, I'm preparing 4 or 5 months before the event by listening to a song and saying, this would go great. Right, to your point. Now tell me about loose joints, because loose joints, the name itself, for those who do not know, And how did the event come together? Was it all in David Mancuso's
All inspired by
mentorship?
David.
Yep.
And Larry, and I really okay. Let me take it way back. All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna take it way back, and I'm gonna tell you kind of how I started. So I started primarily as a hip hop and dance music DJ, right? So everyone in my crew, house was getting big. This is early '90s. I started in '88 is when I started DJing. So, I was playing hip hop shit, obviously all the Nucleus, Safka, Bambaataa, all that shit,
Yep.
dude. The electro hip hop shit. And then I've always been like New York everything for me.
Okay.
Like, and growing up in LA, it was hard.
Yep.
But I was a Yankees fan. I was, I played domestic house. All my friends were buying all the French shit and all the crazy shit. But I'd be swooping domestic house 12s for like $3.99,
Yep.
$4, whatever, right?
Yes.
And focusing on that. And I was always domestic all the way, dude.
Yep.
All emotive to
New Groove, all of that stuff.
Dude, those were my labels.
Yep.
But it was at the same time the hip hop shit too. I was into the same shit. I was into Brand Nubian and Gangstar and fucking
All the underground.
just all underground stuff that for me similar mixing style.
Yep.
Different genre but similar mixing style. And then of course super heavy into like acid jazz, which also blended in with house.
Yep.
I didn't get into like rare grooves or disco, like the underground shit,
Yep.
till I matured.
Yep.
So I had already ran through house music, and then I was like, oh, that's where that sample's from. Oh, that.
Yep.
And the same way that the like funky soul cats were like looking for those same samples that were on all those classic hip hop records. That's how I was with disco and dance floor jazz and
Yep.
all the shit that my people were that I looked up to were sampling big house records,
Yep.
obviously. And then at some point it all just came together. But like my thing was I was always a dancer. I was in a lot of crazy dance crews in LA.
Oh, nice.
And I started doing parties early on, but for me it was a dance floor thing, and I never was like a battle DJ or, I just wanted to play really good music for the dancers. And so I had like my party Versatile. It was from hip hop to house.
Oh.
Went on for a long time. Did that in LA. I had my abstract workshop, which was left field hip hop, jazzy hip hop, a lot of performances. Anyone from Fife Dog to Black Sheep performed at my parties.
Oh.
I had big names, all the shit that I love.
Right.
And then, as far as the house stuff goes, it all just kind of came together. Loose Joints, I came up with, I didn't come up with the name because obviously that's a very notable song.
Yep.
And that was where I came up with the name, but also with dancing. It's
Yep.
like,
Yep.
you
Yep.
do the freestyle dancing
Sure.
and all the ground stuff, you better have loose joints.
Yeah.
Right? So that was really where I was going with that.
Got it.
Glad you asked me.
Yeah. So, and I started that in 2001. It was like a mix series that I did. It blew up. I was like slinging shit
Yep.
right out of my car every dance event, and really that was a moneymaker for me to buy records.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, cool. No one was really doing the disco stuff or like the edits.
Mm-hmm.
This was, 2001. People were just not really into that.
Yep.
But I created this thing, and I was like, cool. Obviously I was doing all the research I could on David Mancuso, and was lucky enough to, my boy Leonard brought him out. I was a part of that. And Leonard and I were doing some parties on the Queen Mary in Long Beach. So we brought Mancuso out. It was amazing. He was just,
Mm-hmm. Did you ever get a chance to go to any of the loft
I
parties?
never went to any of the loft parties.
Okay.
No, never went to any loft parties. I've been invited several times. But I didn't need to.
Right.
because I am the loft. It's in my heart,
Yep.
and I'm cut from that cloth. And even though I never was on that dance floor, the theory is the same.
Absolutely.
And I take a lot of pride in that.
Absolutely.
And I school people here all the time. Like, who is that guy on the wall? And I'm like, people be like, is that Charles Manson? Is that fucking? I'm like, no, dude, that's David Mancuso.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yep.
Drop him into YouTube.
Yep.
And see what pops up.
Yeah.
He is the guy that everyone else
Yeah.
looked up to at an early age.
Yeah.
In their early time in their career, and also like the loft. I mean, they're like first of the first.
Yeah.
Black, white, Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
And that to me was what it's about.
Yeah.
Because that's we don't talk about unity these days anymore.
Absolutely.
But in the '90s, everything was UNITY,
Absolutely.
right? And I think that, man, it's a revolutionary thing that he did.
Absolutely.
Right down to his theories of sound, the 1 watt, 1 dB,
Yeah.
using the La Scalas and
Yeah.
The way that he had it sound. Yeah, dude, like that stuff.
Yeah. You
Beyond the science,
absolutely.
there's something else
Absolutely. You have to be way ahead to start now thinking, man, inventing this item would just enhance sound so much. Like, you're into your craft, but to have that vision outside to, make a revolutionary change on sound systems going forward, that is tremendous love for your craft that you have. Because you know how it is. Once we love something, our minds just start creating like, oh man, you know what? I could make something that will enhance this, that leads to something else. And people, the culture that came from there, even from garage, from our old guys, I think now that we're all under, getting older, we're not only reminiscing, but we are seeing how impactful all of that has been to us. And it's almost like a desire to have this new generation have a little glimpse and experience that a little bit of all of the magic that we experienced.
Yeah.
Like you said, the unity, the coming together, the community. There was nothing but pure love for wanting to go to these clubs, to have that experience. It wasn't about what fine girls are going to be there, how much I'm going to drink, or I'm going to order a bottle of the most expensive champagne at the VIP section, right? It was like, what is Larry going to turn me into?
Yeah, and how long can I dance?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How long will I last on the dance floor with my eyes closed?
Yeah.
And,
2 quick things. Not only dance, but dance by yourself.
So that's
A lot of people are like, who can I
Yeah.
dance by yourself with the eyes closed?
Yeah.
always.
It's a basic song.
So your school of what? Levan?
Mostly Timmy.
Timmy.
As far as going to clubs, I
Yeah.
missed the garage. I got to see the ramp.
Gotcha.
That was it. Didn't get in anyway.
Yeah.
In the loft, didn't get in. But the shelter, I
Oh, yeah.
practically lived there.
Yeah.
And Timmy played basic song, Lost Sensation.
Yeah.
Now my girlfriend was with me,
Yeah.
and when I opened my eyes, remember you just said close your eyes. She was looking at me like
I lost you. You went somewhere
I was
else.
gone. I was on
that's
stage with Lolita. I don't know where I was,
Yeah.
but I wasn't dancing with her. So
Yeah.
it's a feeling. And you can't teach that.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just in you.
I always say, and it goes really hand in hand with like high level DJing, right? Like when you really understand
Yeah.
how to read a crowd.
Mhm.
The dancers, it's the same thing. It's you have this meditative state that you can go into, that sometimes you tap in and it's a little over the top, but it feels great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, dude, I was there. It's kind of like, did I just run a red light? I don't remember any of those lights ever
exactly.
changing.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember any.
Yeah.
It's that same thing. Like you just get lost in
Going
it.
out.
And a good DJ,
Yeah.
you'll get lost in that.
Now let me ask you something. You're a dancer. Is there a difference between a dancer's appreciation or way of listening to music and then converting to a DJ versus then a pure DJ that just has been a DJ that doesn't really dance as well? And the only reason why I ask because I have both. And I'm noticing that people that were dancers that turned into DJs have a different ear because they're thinking of movement versus a DJ per se is more like, art, like mix. What songs go well together? Because I've had people, dancers that turn to DJs, go to other DJs and be like, why did you cut this off there? Because there's a part of the song that allows me to get into this dancing zone that you took away from me. Right? And that's interesting to me because I never really thought about it, but the more I got out there, the more I spoke to people and I ran into that, there is a difference when you come from a dancer's world and turn to DJ. You just hear music differently, and your choices might be a little different than a pure DJ to go just as a set. Right. Sometimes you lose that, essence of playing for a dancer. Because songs to us that may not really do anything technically may move that dancer in ways that we would never know.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting fact too that I'm like learning more and more the more I get to talk to other people. It's like, well, wait a minute, you know what? Why did you choose this song? And you'd be like, well, there's a certain movement that I do at the intro of this song that a lot of DJs don't play. But if you were to play it and you get dancers that know, they will know where you want to take them on the dance floor per se. Right. So that's really interesting that you tap on that, Kobe.
Yeah, so like with the dancers, man, it's and I know a lot of like DJs that are they came from DJ background or from dancer background to DJ background to producer background, and to me that's the ultimate advantage because you understand the dance floor.
Absolutely.
You understand timing and rhythm.
Yeah.
And then you also get an understanding of the peaks and valleys. You get tired, slow down, you need to rest, whatever.
That's a great point.
And it's
that's a great point.
It's beyond the art.
Absolutely.
It's a structure.
Absolutely.
So when you tap into that and you fully understand it, and obviously like you got to come from the heart.
Yeah.
No matter what, like playing music or dancing or even being a spectator. Like if you're open, it's gonna affect you differently.
Absolutely.
But if you're closed off, you're just like you walk into a place and you're just like, you're not comfortable. Well, that's also different too because you're now reserved. You kind of have these little walls up. You can't fully enjoy what I like to call being free.
Absolutely.
That's total, free mode.
Yeah.
Where you're just like let go, no matter what. And I say that shit to people that walk in here all the time. Don't come in here with some weird energy. I'm busting the sage out on your ass, and we're gonna have a one-on-one. Yeah. Like this is a safe place. Like leave that shit out there. You can, when you leave, you can grab your baggage. But if you're in here, this is for all of us, and so just come to have a good time and total openness. Like, oh God, what was it, man? There was the Lil Louis, the back side of the label. Oh, there was such a message on there. And I used to actually put that on some of my party flyers.
The album or a 12 inch?
French on French Kiss.
Okay.
It's like the little character, and it says like total openness or some shit. It's like a.
Oh yes, yes.
And I'm like, I've always like that shit made a lot of sense to me because I was like, that's exactly what house music is to me.
Right.
Soulful.
Yeah.
Inviting. And you can get lost in it. I used to go to this party in LA. It was after hours. This guy Tony Largo. That's where I saw all the legends. I started at 3 a.m. Went to like noon. It was like Coconut Teasers. It's called Does Your Mama Know?
Wow, nice.
Best party in LA. Yeah. Late night, dark. One light in the DJ.
Oh, beautiful.
One light, and it was just pitch black.
Beautiful.
There's
such a beauty to that too. That set tone.
You are listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not trying to see what flashy clothes that person's wearing.
Yeah.
How that guy's moving or whatever. Yeah. It kind of, brings you in.
Yep.
to be open.
Absolutely.
You know, and there's something about that too. But I also like the sparkly shit.
Of course.
You know, the fucking big giant disco ball. You know, Santos Playhouse. Remember that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
They'd just be dark, and then the fucking disco, the beams would go on that shit, and you'd just be like, holy moly! Like there is something to that, but time and place.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
Going back to Larry Levan, and you know, I'm from that school, but I never got to go to the garage.
Yeah.
I went to New York clubs, but it was later. I went to go see, you know, I went to Body and Soul in the Park. I got to go to some Body and Soul parties in Brooklyn. I went to some Nicky Ciano parties. Lots of 718s, and for me it was, I wanted to experience that real New York shit with all the OG dancers, and they were all there at every one of those parties. So I'll tell you, the Nicky Ciano thing. You know, I was like in my 40s, and I was the youngest person there. You know, I went with Angela. Stella was, you know, she was like 7-8 months pregnant with Stella. We're at a Nicky Ciano party at Coney Island. You know, a lot of the old school lights from the gallery and Paradise Garage. They had the scoops. I mean, that was the closest for me to being a part of that. But I also studied whatever mixes I could get from Larry in the early days, which are around. They've been around. You know, you did some comps and stuff. But Timmy, seen him play in LA. Kerry Chandler. Huge Kerry. I mean, Kerry was like the first person that I was like, he is my guy. Because he had a very distinctive sound with the way he did his bass lines. You know, all the chaos shit early on, which was super soulful.
It was like, dark and gritty, that stuff.
Oh
man.
But I wouldn't hear any of those records at any clubs in LA. I'd go to Dejamamino and hear them, which was primarily a gay crowd, after hours crowd. But I hear all those records, dude, and they sounded so fucking good on the system. But Kerry was like the one for me early on, and then, you know, Frankie I saw a bunch of times, you know, because of Marcus Wyatt. He always brought Frankie out, so I was spoiled, dude. And I was friends with Marcus, so I was at all the good stuff, you know. And then, you know, where I grew up, we had the West Coast house thing, you know, which was many generations later, but its own thing, you know, and that's like how I met like JT Donaldson, Lance Sardi, you know, all the Dallas guys. We all kind of wound up on a label together. We became friends. Those guys moved to LA, became kind of like a, you know, just the next generation of people that really cared about house music and did their own versions of it. And, you know, so many timeless records from that era. And, you know, I worked and did some records on Seasons recordings with Jamie Dennis.
That was a beautiful label, man. They were ahead of their time as far as sound aesthetics.
It started right out of my record shop.
Beautiful stuff.
So we did the first record. I actually, my polyphonic EPs is getting re-released.
Oh, nice.
Through Juno.
Wow.
So I just found out about that a couple weeks ago. So
awesome.
That'll be happening in like September, which is a real deep thing, you know. But it's, again, something like that, recognition from like European guys. I mean, a lot of people were playing that record, and it was like, when I made that shit with Thomas, we weren't using computers. Bro, that was like 909, MMT8, Juno 106, JPX 80, all machines. And it had a lot of a DJ feel to it because, like, you know, we're plugging in and out of loops on the MMT8s. So, and I was a part of that whole thing too, which I was a strong hip hop guy. I did my hip hop development shows, Abstract Workshop. I mean, I did a lot of big things that were very underground hip hop. But all I wanted to do was play house. No one would. Marcus was the only one. And then, you know, I threw my own parties, a deeper note, way before deep. So So A Deeper Note was a party that I did early 90s. Into the sound of house that I was into at the time. You know, a lot of Detroit influence shit. You know, Kelly.
Yeah,
2000s.
Yeah,
I brought Kelly Hand out from Detroit. She's been out to LA one time.
Wow.
She's a legend.
Yep.
She used to go to Paradise Garage.
Yeah.
You know, very legendary producer from Detroit, Acacia Records. Roy Davis Jr.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
people that I could afford at the time to do small parties with.
Yeah.
But then that morphed into my party Versatile, which kind of was that and a little bit more. I could like tell the story a little bit more as a DJ, where I could start off with some Brazilian shit, you know, azimuth into going into, you know, at jazz to jazz nova type shit.
Gotcha.
You know, and then build up a crescendo right into the deep shit.
Wow. Nice.
You know, but
Beautiful.
I need 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
5 hours. I can't just forcefully go into that.
2
and
hours.
that's a good DJ.
Absolutely.
You want to hear a good DJ?
Yeah.
Go listen to people that play long sets that are really good and have an arsenal of music.
Yeah.
I love Danny for that, dude.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite and most inspiring people that I would say as a mentor. Same with Ron Trent.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can go hear him for an hour.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You can go hear him for an hour.
Yeah.
He'll do really good.
Yeah.
But go listen to Ron play 4 hours.
Yes, of course.
It's different.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna hit you with African shit. He's gonna hit you with like super like spiritual stuff, and then he's gonna lock you in the dungeon with the drums.
Absolutely.
And that is where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I always compare it to jazz, right? Some of the best jazz musicians, they got better and better as they got older.
Sure.
Into their super elder years.
Yep.
The body slowed down, but the spirit didn't.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like jazz musicians just got more intricate and more intricate. I feel the same with like DJs.
Yeah.
Like, you stick to something, you do it, it's gonna become a craft, and you're gonna hone in on it, and it's gonna become more you than ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the workouts are easier.
Yeah.
Right? Like for me, I used to practice 4 or 5 hours a day, practice cutting, mixing, everything. I don't have to do that much.
Absolutely.
Because I've consistently exercised through my career.
Absolutely.
And I'm lucky I get to have a record shop where I can play records all day and be in the background doing other things.
Yeah.
But I'm listening.
Yeah.
I have very well trained ears.
Absolutely.
And I know how to listen. And sometimes I'll play a record 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Because not only am I feeling it, but I want to capture anything that I may have missed.
I gotcha. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think listening is that moment where you're in school, right? When you're able to listen through a whole album, both sides, and find that little piece on a B side to be like, oh my God, how come I never played this before?
Yeah.
Right? And I think that is done. And I find myself going through revisiting, re-listening, and I might have checked off, 3 on A side, and now I'm playing 2 more from the B side that it never hit me. So back to a point you made earlier, we've matured.
Yeah.
And now that song is gonna come to your ears different than it did 10 years ago, where now it's like,
Definitely.
wow.
Definitely.
And I think with music, there's also that sense that everybody has to mature to understand what you might be trying to introduce to them now.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, is this free-form event that we're doing, we're mature about it, but we also understand that it's gonna take time for people to get their ears to understand the dance floor jazz stuff. It is there, it's been there, and I always tell people, you probably have in your crate, Johnny Ahmed's Los Conquistadores.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you might have, Asmith, Jazz Carnival. That's all dance floor jazz.
Mm-hmm.
But here's other stuff that have not been highlighted in the magnitude that these 2 songs have. And these songs have kind of crossed over to, you might call that, oh yeah, that's what they played at the loft, or that's what they played at the garage. and considered it as a genre of house music. But when you break it out of that, you realize, no, the artist is a jazz artist doing their interpretation of a danceable tune for people that love jazz. But as you get older, you definitely mature, and that album is going to hit you completely different 15, 10 years later, and you're going to have that much appreciation for that song or new songs to begin to. So there's always that also movement of music, and that's why I always encourage everybody. You probably have crates, this is to my friend Jesus, that says, I could never play this at a party because I feel that they're not ready. No, they're ready. I don't think you're ready to actually play it out there.
Exactly.
So what's holding you back?
Right.
You're the only one that's telling yourself, this is for my ears only. But all of this music now, especially as we get older, is there. It's played. It's harmonics. It's energy that people will gravitate to. Obviously, you're not going to have 100,000 people coming to you and saying, hey, what's that you played? But that person that's going to feel it in the heart, you're going to turn and they're going to go now and search for that album, right? That's the point of it, is reaching those little people that feel it the same as you do in your heart and in your mind. But that's beautiful stuff, Cocoe, man. Where do you see this going for the next 5 years? Are you thinking that far ahead, or you're just taking this day by day?
Well, my thing here in Phoenix, who knows? I might end up in New York.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've already did LA. My family's in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I like Phoenix. I like where I'm at. There's a really good community here. I got a lot of friends that have also came here. Cats like Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Cats like just older people that I know that have some sort of history to the young people. I like it here. I see myself down the road opening up a venue.
Beautiful. Okay.
Like a proper one, because there's a lot of half-ass venues here, right? Like doing live music, doing DJ stuff.
Yeah. But they're coming from a different world. Yeah.
I have a lot of experience, man, especially
Absolutely.
with standards of properly having
Sound system.
a sound system. Yep. It doesn't have to be crazy, but there is ways to have it set up properly to present the music.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't focus on that stuff. They focus on the bar. They focus on all this other shit that it's a club.
Yeah.
The number one thing is the sound system.
Of course.
That should be your highest priority. How you build the DJ booth. To who you're bringing in to present music.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is I want to have. It doesn't need to be a big spot.
Mm-hmm.
200-300 people. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Because at that capacity, you can book some good names.
Yeah.
And not have a high ticket price.
Absolutely.
Right? Because that's another thing too. It's I want to have a place where I can have some world class shit. Have a Louis come in.
Mm-hmm.
Have a Joe come in. But I also want to celebrate hometown heroes and give them a proper platform to present music. And for me, yes, I want to put a younger generation on, but it's more important for me to have people that know how to tell the story properly and have experience in playing heavy records, man.
Yep.
Good music that people don't realize. Stuff that they don't know that they will instantly fall in love with.
Of course.
Because it's great music that is either falling through the cracks or they're not looking for it. Even though there's an internet.
Yep.
And you can access everything.
Yep.
You can't access everything.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because it's a lot of homework, and most of that homework has to do with experience and putting in the time and the hours and listening. And going through the B-sides.
Yep.
Finding those special things that maybe people overlook. It happens to me all the time. People will be like, "Yo, have you heard da 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 on this?" He does it to me all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, "What's this?" "Oh man, inside cut or the break." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm always playing shit on the other side."
Absolutely.
I never even take the time to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm stuck on that one record that I like that I've liked for 20 years.
Absolutely.
But then you flip it and you're like, "Oh my God, those drums." That's perfect to transition into
something
this
else.
other thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same with the jazz dance stuff. dude, there's so much good stuff out there that I discover on a daily.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, what's this?
Absolutely.
Is this something new? And then it'll be something that's like 30, 40 years old.
Absolutely.
And you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, how is this timeless and relevant? Well, guess what? Good music is timeless.
Yeah.
Simple.
I think we never stop learning, right? Our ears are always tuned to other things, and you know, it's good to have that openness now because you can. You know, before I think back then, due to radio or your logistics of just going into certain clubs, no social media, no internet, you weren't able to, unless you traveled to London, unless you traveled to Japan, to really see the big movements that were happening there. But now you can access everything. Now, Dom, for you for a second, your decision to move to Arizona was purely just retirement? You thought about it before coming in, or?
My wife is a military brat.
Okay.
And she had spent some time out here before, so she took a job out here.
Oh.
I'm retired.
Gotcha.
So wherever she goes, I go.
And your records, I see you bought most of your records, but you did
minus
share that you
15
sold.
boxes. Anyway.
Okay. Was that tough for you to get rid of? Or
Yes
did you
and no.
already have?
It's the reverse now. At the time, it was the right move, it seems.
Of course.
But moving here, I'm gonna make up a word. Phoenixonians, is that a good word?
Yeah.
They play records. I was playing Toronto in Virginia a lot.
Yep.
Records were just kind of done.
There was
my
that
house.
phase, of course.
And I get here and everyone's playing records. I wasn't mad because I still have plenty to pick from. So, and as you see now, I'm still buying records.
Yeah.
So anyway, the adjustment has been good. It's been good. Thanks to him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna thank Gorilla Will first because he sent me to him.
Yeah, nice.
And then through him, I met the young lady he was talking about. She keeps me busy also. He keeps me busy. It's like a nice warm.
So you are doing some events here, right?
Here and there. Like, actually similar to Virginia. You know, it's not a million events. You get your spells. Right. But I'm still relatively new. And I'm super excited for that, Loose Joints, because I've been to a couple of those.
Gotcha.
See, I study also. I'll go to go for one, but just to see who's who, what's being played, and what can you get away with.
And who's feeling it here, and how are they feeling it here?
Yeah. It's like, I call that the sky's the limit party. Just play. Like he told me, just do you. Okay.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
So I can't wait. I'm excited. I told him I've packed 18 crates in my head already.
In my head,
for like what, 2 hours or whatever.
Oh my God.
Bring the truck this way.
Yeah, my partner Keith, we always go through that. Right? It's like I still bring 2 bags for a 2 hour. He's just like, okay, she's like, I'm gonna bring 2 bags, and then in the trunk, I open it up and I see like 5 additional crates. He's like, just in case.
Just in case.
I'm like, that's beautiful. Whatever you gotta do, let me help you bring it in.
And my habit, I don't know if it's a good or bad one. I literally go through my whole collection.
Yeah, of course. Yep, yeah.
Whole collection.
Oh, you might have missed this.
Yep. Yeah. And some records, you forget how they go. You play, like, oh, I'm playing this. But then when you get there, sometimes it doesn't even register.
Right.
We've all been through that.
Right.
So,
and how's your Twitch, been going for you?
Twitch is fun. Twitch, I committed to Lifted Radio.
That's right.
So
Mia, everybody, the whole camp, Lady V, and all those people.
Right.
They got you involved, or
they invited me in. I feel there was one record I played, to your point, a B-side record, Angela Bowfield.
No.
People make the world go round. I found it on the flute just before going up to Jersey to do all of us playing together.
For Lifted.
And that one record, Lady B, she gave me that. What are you doing? So anyway, Mike was there, and then he had asked me to play, but I couldn't commit then, but now that I'm retired, I'm like, just 3 hours a week, at least I get to practice.
Sure. Listen through your stuff.
Stay in tune and new stuff, old stuff, and it's getting hot in the garage.
It's like having a residency, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're trying things out, and you're being consistent.
Yeah.
And that, for me, like, I've had times where I just have not done events, haven't like had a DJ flow, and I lack something within my ecosystem where I'm like, dude, I need to like do something where I consistently, again, just the process, going through my record collection, finding stuff that I forgot about, just being like, you know, maybe having a little flashback of a memory, or like, oh man, I remember when I got this, or whatever girl I was dating, or whatever. You know, it's the records, they hold feelings, and it's beyond the dance floor sometimes. You know. But yeah, I think for me the most fulfilling part is being able to stay consistent and have that little process of like, oh man, let me see what I forgot about. And then you start doing a little bit of this, and then, you know, those bags will fill up quick. And that's kind of like, you know, when I put sets together specifically for loose joints, and I have all these other gigs, you know, I'm playing world music and hip hop, and I really try to make it the Cocoe show, right? Which is like
a little bit of everything. My
flavors. And not try to do what anyone else does, just more so what I enjoy playing, and then put it together with a little bit of skill. You know, maybe I'll rock in some doubles, which would be like, you know, a little bit of my hip hop background, and then I'll let records air out. So it's a combination of stuff. In an hour, I'll figure out, if I have an hour set, well then, dude, I gotta give them an hour set. But I'm also not gonna be like, let me play all the hits in 1 hour. I've never been that DJ. It's just not what I do. I'll be like, okay, I got an hour. I'm gonna go after this person. This is kind of the tone I want to set, and then I'll either build around one record, or I try to pull some notable stuff that really make me feel good, and this is kind of how I want to present it. But then there's the other side to it too. I might work for a month or two to pull a set together, and then the week of the event, I'm feeling totally different. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go this direction.
We all do that.
And that's all right. And that's all right. But that's part of the process of like knowing the records and like really, in my opinion, being in love with it. Because when you're in love with it, it's very important to you how you present not only yourself but the music that you're playing that belong to other people. And trying to make the records sing to each other. You know what I mean? And when they're aligned, you're aligned, the dance floor is aligned, and it's a good night, and people have a memorable time. You know, the night I did with D-Gents where we played on 4 turntables, it was improvised. Very magical session, but it was all improvised. And you know, we had a couple phone calls, but I was like, same thing I tell you, just do you. I'll follow along. Don't worry, I'll bring some records that will complement what you do, because I already know what you do. And then you know what I'm gonna do. So we'll make it happen. And people ain't ready for it because they weren't ready for it. It was an amazing night. And it was very unexpected, because what we did was, you know, we were doing all kinds of shit. We were rocking doubles, we were layering over each other, playing breaks, acapellas, cutting stuff in, just very experimental. But it worked because him and I both know our music. And we both put the time in to practicing with ourselves. So that when him and I got together and put our two crafts together, it worked. Because we knew the assignment, and we've been doing it for a long time.
Well, that confidence that you carry, you know, is just going to make that whole scenario, you know, a bit better, right? Knowing what you can bring to the table, so to speak. I think going back to the shows, the internet shows, which everyone has one now, I think there's also that loss of reason why you're doing a show. I think for you, for us, is like, it really is, I'm gonna take this time to play, go through, re-listen. I may mix a little bit here and there, but it's more educational for me. And I hope that as a listener, you're hearing something that is gonna interest you into doing a little bit more research. A lot of people want that instant, I need numbers, you know, because a lot of people have started off good, and as long, you know, towards their second or third month, they'll be like, hey, you know, Alvaro,
I'm only getting like 2 or 3 viewers. Like, I'm gonna stop. And I'll be like, then what was your original idea on this? Like, were you looking to what? Get 1,000 viewers? What is your intention of doing this?
Yeah.
And a lot of people really forget that step. They're like, I see people tuning in 100, 200, it must be fun, let me try it.
Yeah.
But when you really take the time to chunk out 2-3 hours every single week, you better be sure and know that it's a passion and there's love for you to do. There's a bigger reason for you why you're doing this internet show. And sometimes you get in your zone. I see you hardly check who's on because you're going through your records, you're playing, and it's almost like you're telling a story. Oh man, I remember the night I was at the shelter. Tilly dropped this, right? So it's that emotional connection for you playing that song, and then you're hoping that who's ever on that chat might have had that same experience that you did with that song. And that's the beauty of it. So it's also important for you to realize these things that you think, oh, this might be fun. Well, there is fun, but there's also that whole love and passion that needs to be forthfront before any project. So it's definitely something that I think people get into these things with kind of like a different reason, and then realize when it doesn't go their way, I'm out of it. You know,
and they're in it for the wrong reason.
Absolutely.
Me personally, I hope for 10. I set my bar low. Just if I can get 10 people at any given moment, it doesn't have to be 10 the whole show.
Exactly.
But if I see 10 or higher, I'm like, cool, I made it, and then I just keep playing.
Exactly.
And if I don't, I still keep playing because I'm enjoying myself. That's my release, my week. One of them, I think I call it my weekly fix. Something like that. It's my fix. It's fix time tomorrow. It's time tomorrow, probably, right?
And you know what? You never know who outside of your platform chat might be listening.
Because
I've had that too. I had people that are not on it. I'm like, someone would send me a text or an email and said, hey, you played the song. I was listening to your show, but when you kind of look, I'm like, I didn't see your ID there. They're like, no, I don't get in the chat. So there's people also that listen without getting involved in the chat. Everybody wants that chat to be filled and this, that, the other. But there are listeners that are listening.
Lurkers,
just for listening on Twitch.
The lurk.
I'm
sorry, I saw that label. Okay. I've been sneak peeking. What's his face? I keep wanting to say Noel. What's his name?
Who?
Mello.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to call him Noel for some reason. Anyway.
Noel's the other guy.
Is there a Noel here?
Grassy Knoll.
Is that why?
It's all good better.
I'm sure.
My voice, it's all looks at the airport.
Okay. I think I know.
He's got crazy records too. Again, he tells stories, his own way.
Nice.
So we have a pretty solid foundation here for DJs that are all levels, man. And all genres. That's what I always say. I'm like, people come here and they're like, oh yeah, people still DJ with records. I'm like,
it never stops.
80%.
What's up?
I'm like 80%. 80% is like, vinyl DJs.
Well, everyone, thank you for your time. Cocoe and I, we're going to continue our conversation offline with my boy Don, and we're going to be digging, going through the things. It's been a while since I've been here, so I cannot wait to go through all of his collections. And Cocoe, thanks for all your time, my brother. Best of luck to you. Don't forget to follow him on all social media if you're interested, if you're around the area. Make a stop here, you will not regret it. But also just get involved with his community. If you know family that's out here in Arizona, don't know where to go, what to do, just follow his Instagram account and you'll be involved. And come down to the store. He's got some great stuff coming up. All the best of luck to you, Don.
Thank you.
Awesome running into you.
Yes, sir.
My brother, let's do some digging. And thank you guys for viewing this content. Peace.